Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the DOXXreport and my quiet, lovely, beautiful, peaceful, affordable, comfortable, golfing, and currently dark as hell retirement community affectionately known as...
Del Boca Vista.
Thank you, Frank. Retired, 72 years of age in another month. United States citizen and proud of it, and a recipient of Medicare payments living in Central Florida. This is my personal YouTube channel, vlog, citizen journalism account, and just about anything else I want it to be. Thank you for joining me. It's also headquarters of CFN Global and the Jackson Dr. Bob Show, doing very well. I couldn't believe it. I mean, no, not that they're doing well. I couldn't believe I was laying in bed, and I got up like at 3 a.m., and I thought, well, I'll turn it on, catch the beginning of it. And then I laid back down in bed, but I had it on, because I moved my phone to the bedroom. So once it was in the bedroom, I charge it up there, and then I have the phone in there and also the Apple Watch. So I started listening, and I started dozing off. And not that it was boring, it was just, I was so relaxed, and I thought, I got to get up and turn that off. And it took me about an hour to get back to turn it off. So I didn't wake up until, 8 o'clock, which is very late for me. And I went to the fitness center, the latest I've ever been, which would be 10:30. And I've never been, but it was 32 degrees anyway. But when I got up to listen to Jackson Dr. Bob, I also turned the heat up to 68. I think that's probably more efficient than just letting it get so low in the house, and then it's got to work harder in the morning. So let's see, weather right now, it's cold out there. It is currently, it's not even 8 o'clock, 41 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be 5 degrees centigrade. Humidity 49%, wind 6 kilometers per hour. That would be 4 miles per hour. And it's going to be cold all week. Oh, we had some comments earlier. The question, Neverland or never was? Rich Mitch says, Docs, hey, Rich Mitch. And then we had like 4 people. I guess some people left. According to, I can't really put that name up, but I've agreed not to cover that particular individual. Easy drunk, easy drink, barfed on the dungeon today. Well, does that surprise anybody? I mean, how much liquor can you hold? Well, I threw it up there, I guess. I didn't even see this. I threw it up there just quickly. I mean, you got Neverland, you got to have Peter Pan. In tights? Well, Peter Pan, that's what he wore. He's a adventurer, that was back in the 1910 or whenever that was written. At least you don't have Green Room in tights tonight. Well, he's... Oh, yeah, you must have seen it for F's sakes. He didn't like it at all. There he is showing his displeasure. Oh, hey, franchise clubs. How come you keep taking your streams down? I hear about them, and I want to at least go through it quickly. And they're just gone. You don't even do members. You just take it down. You take 8 hours out of your life and then just delete it. Hello, Docs Chat. I've upvoted Docs. I have upvoted Docs. Am I in a position to ask a favor of you? Depends what the favor is. Franchise, Rich and Curly, okay, very good. For the record, the Franchise Club channel are mostly members, Docs. Okay, fair enough. I don't see why people get so upset then. If it's behind a membership wall, it's the same. Why get upset about it? But that's just me. 6 people watching. And Curly has teased the audience saying, well, he's got to ask me a favor. You want to email me or just put it in the public record here? Maybe you better email me. Where's my email? It's right here. DOXXreport at outlook.com. That'll be up there for 10 seconds. Yeah, I just threw a quick thumbnail up, and I'm trying to. I can't watch the Archie show. I just can't do it. And I got clips to run, and I just get these clips out. I got about 15 clips, and it's politics stuff and some other things. And it's like, why not just do it? Do a stream, because I can't sit there and can't watch Archie. I don't know what the hell they're doing over there. It's I don't think they really pay any attention to the audience. They're just they're a little foursome there. Can you unban my Red Hot account? There is a narrative that I'm using this account to promo on your channel. Well, but you shouldn't even be doing promotions over here anyway. Really. I mean, you're a content creator, and you've been very harsh on me in the past. Like, why? I don't want people promoting over here. If that's what you're talking, can you unban my Red Hot account? But you get along very well with Jackson, Dr. Bob. Can you unban my Red Hot account? Well, let me write it down. You don't need it immediately, do you? I'll look for it. Red Hot account. I'll look for it. Red Hot. Unban. Okay, I can do that. It's a reasonable request. MT85, they only care about the super. That's true, and it's so obvious. And you got to provide something. You got to make a creative show, but it just seemed like a support group for a gay community. Nothing wrong with being gay, but it's like, I doesn't mean I have to watch it. I didn't think, well, but just the fact that you show up is all. I mean, but that's okay. No, I'll do it. Not at all. All right, thank you. You're welcome. So, and I did pour a cognac. I got at the fitness center so late, and then there was a guy I haven't seen since the other down the road where I used to go, and this must have been a year and a half. How long have I been going to the new one? At least a year. So I hadn't seen him and his wife. They've been very friendly towards me, and she's the one that told me about the H&R Block woman over there. And it's hell getting old because he looks in pretty good shape. He's like 82 or something, but she is just, it's going to happen to all of us. We're going to hit the wall. So she had sciatica, was in continual pain. She had that operated on. And then pretty soon after that, which stopped the pain. But then she took a fall in the house, broke her femur. And like, oh, shit. So now he's a caretaker. He has to, he put up some rails, and he's a real on-hands guy, so he could do the remodeling of the house. So he's doing so she can take a shower and go into the bathroom, But you gotta, if you can't walk, don't get up and walk. But, you can't do certain things. And now she's just been diagnosed with Parkinsonism. So I can kind of understand. He took her to the manicurist or whatever, the hairstylist or something. But she doesn't, he said, will you come over and meet her? And I go, well, she didn't, because I texted her one time to come over, and she didn't really want that, and I can see why. Because I just remember in my mind, she'd come in, she could fully functional walk, and she had sunglasses and had her hair done, and I used to call her Miss, like, her real name, but it's like Miss Daisy. Let's just call her Miss Daisy. And I'd tell her the stories about the housekeeper, and she was fun. They were a great couple, and this guy can talk. This guy is super friendly, and he's from, guess where? Ohio. Okay, what's my email? I'll put it up there again. I mean, I have it on every show. I have it in the description. DOXXreport@outlook.com. So sad to hear about that, but we're just passing through. Doesn't matter what kind of house you live in, or how much money you got, or you're a CEO or a dictator of a communist country. You're going to check out. Passing through. You want to stay in Neverland or go into my living room? Oh, and I haven't heard back from the car company today, but I know I'm going to hear from them. And did I tell you that? Yeah, they just wanted too much money. I mean, a negotiation is not going directly to the sticker price. So, and hey, if it's that valuable, keep it. Then why is it still on the lot? Why hasn't it sold? People are not going to pay that kind of money for that kind of car. But, I got title to my car, and I'm willing to negotiate, but I'm not going that high. I offered $17,000, and they came back like $24,500. That's not a negotiation. They're just setting the price. Okay, but what determines the price? The market. What's the market? It's what it sells for. So if you don't want to sell a car, keep it high. Keep it high priced. Oh, it is cold here. Yeah. Thank God we're not in Ohio or Texas. They can't leave their house for like 3 days because of the ice. MT-85, Central Florida rancher, not much, they just got done feeding cows, 45 degrees. Ooh. Oh, it was really pleasant. Once I got out and the sun was shining, it was like 50? Yeah, lower 50s. But with the sun on you and there's no wind, it was fine. I was in my shorts. I missed lunch. I missed the Wawa $5 meal deal because that ends at 11. But they were still doing breakfast, so I got my breakfast burrito. So I'm okay. I got my coffee. It was really smooth. Got my workout done. So anyway, I talked to him at the fitness center for 20 minutes. And that once I take a break from the workout, it's like, oh man, it's like I want to leave right then. So I hung in there, got it done, ran up there. Then I had to go pick up a prescription. I was second in line, so I'm happy about that. But he did comment that he's never seen traffic this bad in all the years he's lived here on the highway out here, which, I don't. And he did recommend the restaurant up there, the Roadhouse Grill, is it? So I'm going to have to check that. He says the salads are fantastic, and he has a steak up there. And he did take her up there to eat. But she can't, if she takes another fall, that's terrible. You just can't. You got to get one of those wheelie things, or you got to be in a wheelchair. But that's just terrible. Say ice to Winter Olympics. I haven't been following it that close. I don't even know where the Winter Olympics are going to be. I just don't follow the Olympics. Why would you? Well, let's see. Winter Olympics, where are they going to be held? No, we'll be in Italy. We don't have jurisdiction in Italy, so I don't know what you mean by that. It's in Italy. All right, speaking of ice, let me run some of my clips. And then you have to leave out, that's okay, because it's for me too. I want to keep up with some of the news, so. Well, this is probably the reason Minnesota's going crazy. This is the woman, I think she's the AG or something, going to go after those people that disrupted the church service up there.
I intend to identify and find every single person in that mob that interrupted that church service in that house of God and bring them to justice. And that includes so-called journalists who participated in harassing Americans at worship.
Got to be careful. You don't want to mess with the feds. Secretary Noem.
This individual showed up to impede a law enforcement operation and assaulted our officers. They responded according to their training and took action to defend the officer's life and those of the public around him. And I don't know of any peaceful protester that shows up with a gun and ammunition rather than a sign. This is a violent riot when you have someone showing up with weapons and are using them to assault law enforcement officers.
You just made claims that the individual posed a threat to law enforcement.
That is no claim. It is the facts. The facts of the situation. This individual showed up to a law enforcement operation with a weapon and dozens of rounds of ammunition. He wasn't there to peacefully protest. He was there to perpetuate violence. And he was asked to show up and to continue to resist by a governor who's irresponsible and has a long history of corruption and lying. And we won't stand for it anymore. These law enforcement officers take an oath. They get up every single day and they go out to protect the public. Many of these individuals live in their communities. And this mayor and this governor have doxxed them. They have allowed people to threaten them and their families and expose their identities in order to instill fear and violence. And that's not what America is about.
Well, I can't argue with that. But why wouldn't Minnesota officials want to clean it up? Why? Corruption? What kind of corruption?
Ilhan Omar, Tim Walz, Attorney General Keith Ellison. We see a web of connections between them and those directly involved in the fraud. For example, Ilhan Omar alleged enabling introducing the 2020 Meals Act, which was ultimately subject to fraud. Held a campaign victory party at the Safari restaurant. That's where one of the men who run that restaurant has associations to the convicted individuals. And then there's Tim Walz. House Oversight Investigation role in his role as governor, or Keith Ellison, the Attorney General. His job is to enforce the law in Minnesota, but instead he's getting donations after meeting with the Feeding Our Future representatives. The Feeding Our Future, the biggest known yet part of this entire theft ring.
Wow, so they got plenty of money up there to hire agitators. Well, that's really it. I don't have an answer on that. Jay Gracewater says, "Oh, Rufus, welcome, Rufus. Hey, you did a good job on the on Jackson Dr. Bob show. I was saying earlier, I was listening in bed, and I could never understand why people would do that. I can't. Not that it was boring. I just had it on low, and I was just zoning out. And then you were there still talking, and I finally got out of bed, turn it off, but didn't get up till like 8 o'clock. Couldn't believe it. ICE will do security for the American diplomat. I don't think that's their job. That's the Italian government. Listen, if those athletes need to have security guards, don't go. Don't go. I wouldn't go over there. Yeah, exactly. MT85. ICE isn't trained. Who asked me that anyway? That was. Oh, I don't know who would come up with that. That's the reason it was given, though, says Jay Gray. So now citizens can't be armed near a protest. Got it? So now citizens can't be armed near a protest. Got it? What am I supposed to get? If you're protesting and you got a weapon on you and then you're wrestling with law enforcement, you're pretty stupid. If they see that gun and now you're in but let's withhold judgment or whatever until we get all the facts on it. You should if you're a citizen near you shouldn't be near the protest. I'm not going to go out to a protest. I don't want anything to do with it. Oh, let's see. Okay. Secretary Noem has some more to say.
This individual impeded the law enforcement officers and attacked them. state the facts as they unfolded on the street today. We were doing a targeted operation against an illegal criminal, and this individual came with a weapon and dozens of rounds of ammunition and attacked them. And these agents took action to defend their lives and to defend the lives of the people around them, and acted according to their training. And we will continue to let this process go forward and not allow people like Governor Walz and Mayor Frey to lie about what actually unfolded on that street. Now they have deemed this situation an unlawful assembly, and these leaders aren't even cleaning up the situation that they have as far as the violent riots that we see unfolding in Minneapolis right now. They need to be strong, take action, protect their citizens, and partner with us to go after these criminals that perpetuate violence and to keep our law enforcement officers safe. Let's all be grateful for people who take an oath every day and they go out to enforce the laws. That is their job, is to enforce the laws and to make sure that there is consequences for breaking the law in this country and that it applies equally to everybody. That is what they do. They do it every day. They do thousands of operations every single week, and they do it with excellence. Don't let political corrupt leaders who are just trying to cover up their theft of American taxpayer dollars try to distract you from the facts of the situation.
Absolutely. I think I had another graphic. Let's see, just a reminder, Ashley Babbitt, she was in the Capitol, wasn't armed with a gun or a moving automobile vehicle, and she was shot to death. But, you know, you don't hear about, she was a MAGA. And how true is this? Democrats hate ICE because ICE deports their illegal voting base. That's all it's about. Now, how would you like to live in Minnesota? And I wouldn't be out there driving around because of this reason.
We are not ICE. We're not ICE. We're not ICE.
I'm showing my face. I'm not.
We've come to you. We're not ICE. Yeah, they've been following us for over an hour. We're not ICE. We're just letting them know, and they.
Not in a nice vehicle, right?
No. Right.
Right, get in your truck and get the fuck out. Why? Because you need to go. Confirmed ICE. Get the fuck out.
Confirmed ICE through who? We're American citizens. We're not ICE.
Same to the people that you're abducting. Get out. Please go.
Because they've been following us for over an hour.
Why are you guys here? What are you here doing? Why are you guys here? Where do you live? Where are you from? The protest is public property. What are you talking about? Did you come in that car right there?
Yeah, this truck. And they're saying we're popping up in an ICE database.
Well, then you're in it. We're not.
What's the database?
Get the fuck out of here, though. Do we look like ICE? No ICE. Nothing on me. Prove it. We're not ICE. I don't know weapons. Let me see your IDs of where you live.
No, they've been following us. That's why we got out and confronted them.
Great.
You think that's okay?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. I'm curious about
our neighborhood. Yes. 100%. Yes.
I'm curious, I guess, how you get into an ICE database.
We're not ICE. Okay, thank you. So you're messing it up.
Oh, get a rope. Jeez. Now they're owning the streets, man. I declare insurrection. Just round them up. Send the army in there. How'd you like to be hassled like that? But again, why are you driving? Well, it's your city, right? You want to drive around. I guess not supposed to do that. Let's see. Golden Baba isn't doing anyone, not anyone, any favors. Gnome. Bavino is out now. She is skating on thin ice. Okay. I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, Secretary Noam? Okay. Bovino. Let's see who Bovino is. See, the left it's always political with the left. They never talk about freedom or prosperity or any of that. The Border Patrol commander said, okay. Oh, that's terrible. He got demoted, huh? Ooh, that makes Trump looks bad, huh? Still waiting on Donald's apology for disrespecting the war dead. Well, keep waiting. I think he made some statements out. He put out some kind of tweet or something. Oh, that's another big thing. Oh, that's all you got? Oh, we love Trump. I love Trump. Now listen to 6% growth next year. What do you think of that? That's not good for the gold and silver, though.
I think this quarter, the first quarter of 2026, the United States of America's $30 trillion economy will exceed 5% growth.
Wow. 5%.
Exceed 5%. And if we get a new Fed chair, which we'll get this summer, and they cut rates, which they should, because why is the greatest credit in the world paying the highest rates? You saw the 10-year, right? We just looked at it. 4.25. We are 200 basis points higher than anybody else in the world, and we're the best credit. Usually you would say, no, the best credit pays the lowest rate, not the highest rate. If they cut that rate, you're going to see the end of 2026. You're going to see 6% growth from the United States of America. Wow. And I tell you what, that fixes a whole lot of stuff, and that's why you put Donald Trump in the Oval Office.
That's right, leadership. And we want law and order. I got the email, Curly. That's, you want, I'm just not into that, you know. I'm not into drive-by AI. I just thought, you know, we can discuss Peter Pan, but I don't think that was vile. That was something else. Golden Baba, the left, who is left? Well, when the left is always in the minutia because it's always, you know, keeping score politically, you know, politics. Noam, okay, let's see. Golden Baba, freedom is the Second Amendment, okay. Well, the left, it's all about power. Like that guy walking up and down like a big union labor boss, you know, in charge. Get out of here. Get out of here. We have this neighborhood. Get out of here. You're in the ICE database. Get out of here. Like, who the hell are you? Well, I'm not a member of the GOP. GOP is losing support rapidly. I assume midterms are gone, and Latinos support that. He's the one in states like Florida and Texas has gone, oh, gloom and doom. What are you going to do? Are you going to leave the country? You're going to sell the farm? Are you going to run? Where are you going to run to? Golden Baba, love Trump all you want. I love America. Well, if you love America, you got to love Trump. Let's see, ditto to that. Rich Mitch. You could not torture out of me. Okay, again. All right. Okay, all right. If he misspoke or whatever, all right. Okay. Up against, he's settled how many wars? Huh? And you're going to focus on that? How many wars did he settle? He freed Venezuela. He's going to take down Cuba. And he's going to, what about all those tens of thousands that died in Iran? He's probably going to take out the mullah or the Ayatollah. You going to thank him for that? No, he said a comment. I don't like this comment he said. He did not misspeak. I'm going to, oh, please. We have a disaster here. Winter storms.
And as much of the country feels the impacts of that winter storm, President Trump continues to monitor the situation closely, and he has remained in constant contact with FEMA and emergency responders. President Trump also quickly approved 12 federal emergency disaster declarations within 24 hours for the states of Arkansas, Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia, enabling these states to access critical federal resources to supplement their response efforts if needed. These declarations will help state-led efforts of turning power back on, clearing roads for emergency services, and keeping communities safe. The White House will continue to correspond directly with governors and local officials in the coming days, especially in those states that were harshly impacted by this storm.
President Trump, he better follow international law.
Says that it will retaliate in the instance of U.S. strikes against U.S. assets in the Middle East. What do you say to U.S. service members about why it is worth the risk to intervene in Iran?
Yeah, Iran said that the last time I blew them up with the nuclear capability, which they don't have any longer. So Iran said that the last time. They better behave.
Oh, and I guess what's going on in the street that I heard that the people rounding up the citizens are speaking Arabic, not Farsi. So another dictator. But the left doesn't have any problem with dictators. Jack Smith on the hot seat.
We interviewed another firsthand witness who was in the car who did not confirm that had happened, but also
in your deposition to the committee last month, Mr. Smith, you said this: my recollection with Ms. Hutchinson was a number of the things that she gave evidence on were secondhand hearsay. You remember making that statement to us last month in the deposition?
I did, and I was referring particularly to what we're talking about now.
Yeah, and you also said Ms. Hutchinson, regarding this particular claim, was a second or even third-hand witness. We asked you, if you were a defense attorney, how would you handle cross-examining her if she was on the witness stand? And you said, if I were a defense attorney and Ms. Hutchinson were a witness, the first thing I would do was seek to preclude her testimony because it was hearsay. You remember saying all that?
Yes, that's correct, sir.
That's correct, right? Were you going to put her on the witness stand if you ever got to trial?
We had not made final determinations as to who we were going to call as a witness. We had a large...
You were still considering her?
We had a large choice of witnesses in this case.
Are you familiar with what Washington Post reporters Carol Leonnig and Aaron Davis said in their book? They did this book, 300-some pages book on Chronicle and the whole investigation of the Justice Department. And here's what they said on page 310. They said Jack Smith had wondered whether some of Hutchinson's claims might be relied upon at trial. Still, at one point, Smith told the elections team he wasn't ready to give up on Hutchinson's account. Ultimately, however, Trump administration officials uniformly, fiercely disputed her accounts under oath. Prosecutors on your team told Smith they wouldn't want to use Hutchinson as a witness in court, and Smith agreed. Are Carol Leonnig and Aaron Davis, who wrote this, are they lying?
My recollection is that I certainly had not made any final determinations about who we were going to call.
And that's the point. That is the point. The fact that they used her in a primetime hearing and you won't rule out using her, or didn't rule out using her, putting her on the witness stand when everybody knows she wasn't telling the truth, that says it all. That's the degree the left and Democrats were willing to go to get President Trump, putting on the witness stand someone everybody knows is making it up. Everybody knows that. And you were willing to do it. By the way, you know how many times Cassidy Hutchinson was mentioned in their report, the January 6th report? Any idea, Mr. Smith?
I do not.
185 times. Someone that the whole country knows wasn't telling the truth, and you were still considering putting her on the witness stand because you had to get President Trump. And everybody...
No. Some of these I'm watching for the first time, too. Let's see. The checks and balances will sort out everything. Always does. That's the genius of our forefathers. Well, okay. A golden Baba. The checks and balances will sort everything out and put everything in its right place. Unless the Democrats are in charge. Then you can forget that. It always does. This is the genius of our forefathers. Franchise Club sent me some photos. It's not AI, but little Meatball is a member-only character. Don't know what you mean about Peter Pan. I didn't watch cartoons, Docs. Well, there's no sense bringing it up. But, well, I can show you the image if you want to see it. Maybe you haven't seen it. Where is it? Where is Peter Pan? Oh, there he is. That's Peter Pan in Neverland. Oh, you're still on it, Rich Mitch. Okay, it's an outrage. Well, maybe we should have voted for Kamala. She would apologize. She'd apologize for Trump. So should we vote in Kamala? I mean, silver and gold would shoot through the roof. Oh boy. Let's get back to the clip parade. On a better note, now I made a double of this. Let me get rid of one. Delete that one. I've shown this one. Get rid of that one. On James Fox, a decade after a decade researcher of UAPs, UFOs, in Varginha, Brazil, where aliens, biologics, were captured.
Okay, we are coming up on Regional Hospital, and I wanted to show this sign right here, which is right in front of the hospital. You can see ex-Regional Hospital. Alini, can you read that, just the basics?
Yes. On the night of 20th of January 1996, 2 policemen arrived at Regional Hospital in Varginha, bringing to care the creature that they had captured moments before. Supposedly, one area of the institution remained isolated as soon as they received the creature. However, this creature stayed for very little time in this hospital, later being transferred to another institution.
Right there, in plain sight. Incredible.
Yeah, the CIA then picked them up. They were taken to an army base, the creature, or the biologic, and was taken to a plane. There's records of the plane, but they don't know, but it was a CIA plane, taking it back to the United States. Minnesota versus Texas.
I'm very confused about why the conversation is about what you're talking about, instead of focusing on what really matters, which is why in one city, in one place do we have these problems. We deport 10 times the number of illegal aliens out of Texas than we do out of Minneapolis. Why do we hear nothing out of Texas about any of the same problems that we have in Minneapolis? I'll tell you why. Because in Texas, we have the cooperation and support of local law enforcement so that we can do these operations safely, keeping U.S. citizens and others protected and safe. That is not what we have in Minneapolis. And the fact that it's the administration that's being blamed for the utter failure of leadership in Minneapolis is not right, it's not appropriate,
But are
and
you
it's also
saying those
not
officers?
true.
Oh, now this is an interesting photo. Tom Homan being presented a medal by no other than President Obama. Interesting. Can that possibly be?
This is a Washington Post headline from 9 years ago, 2016. Meet the man the White House has honored for deporting illegal immigrants. And I would remind everyone in this room that it was former President Barack Hussein Obama who awarded a medal to Mr. Homan. So he's obviously very qualified. He has the full trust and faith of the president. He will continue to have these meetings in the hopes that ICE and local law enforcement can cooperate and work together to have successful immigration enforcement, as we've seen in almost every other state across the country.
Interesting. Comments? Okay. Are you going to cash in? Gold hit a new high again day after day. What about silver? $5,200. Well, I don't know if you can't hold a job and you want to play around with precious metals, I guess that's that or Bitcoin you're going to have to do. Your greatest wealth factor is your career, is your job, your employment, and investing steadily like I did in the S&P 500. Now, I remember when gold was 2,000, and I had about 10 gold coins, but I didn't like having them. I got rid of them. But I'm not dissatisfied with, you'd never want to hold physical gold, I wouldn't think. But okay, congratulations. When you, there's a bid and an ask on it, but congratulations. Here's another one. Oh, where are you moving to? You going to leave the country? You going to sell the farm? It will continue. The dollar is trash. It's end of, okay. Well, do what's best for you. If that's best for you, okay. Interesting question. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. Biologics have no real soul. They have no, soul, docs. Because they are if you don't know, if you're new to the UAP and everything, from my reading or from what I'm gathering, these are just like, remember, when we first went into space, what was it? We put monkeys up there and dogs. And those that are piloting these crafts are part of the avionics of the craft. And how they get their information or how they, I don't know, but they're just, they're not thinking about home or anything else. They don't have genitalia. They can't reproduce. They ooze stuff off their skin. They're just been built to they're not the intelligence that built the craft, okay? I don't know. I mean, it's pretty sad when you think about it, isn't it? Oh, okay. Well, you can attack me now. Go ahead. I don't even know what he said. Really, it really affected you. Fine. But there's such a thing as weights and balances. All the good that he's done in the world, and he's liberated people. And now we can talk about, well, even Canada. Venezuela was rejoicing, and I guess Canada will be here pretty soon too. Canada.
Hello, good morning. My name is Brian Kingston. I'm the president and CEO of the Canadian Vehicle Manufacturers Association. Canada's auto industry is under enormous pressure, with over 90% of Canadian production destined for the United States. There is no industry without U.S. access and North American integration. Diversification is not an option for automotive, as markets in Europe and Asia are better served by assembly plants in those regions. Canada's market alone is too small to justify large-scale manufacturing. The future of Canada's auto industry and the hundreds of thousands of jobs that it supports depends on securing our trade relationship with the United States. The federal government's decision to open the Canadian market to Chinese EVs is deeply concerning. The Canada-China strategic partnership has the potential to undermine Canada's auto sector and presents risks to the future of our integrated North American automotive supply chain. As the Premier has outlined, it is critical that the federal government rectifies this situation by taking immediate action to bolster the competitiveness of the very companies that have been building cars and employing Canadians for over 100 years. Step one is repealing the costly and redundant EV sales mandate. Under the new Canada-China strategic partnership, Chinese manufacturers that do not build cars in Canada or employ Canadians will receive up to $980 million per year in compliance credits. These compliance credits will be paid for by the very companies that operate here, taking money that could be reinvested in Canada, in Ontario, and sending it to China. Step two is taking action to make Canada more competitive for auto. We must urgently lower the cost of investing in plants, machinery, and R&D to give Canada an edge over other jurisdictions. The future of Canada's auto industry hangs in the balance. The actions that we take now will determine whether or not we have an industry for 100 more years. Thank you.
No, your number one thing is to get rid of the liberal government. That's your only hope. And it looks like Alberta is they've had enough. Quebec looks like they've had enough. So it's gonna break apart, I think, because they're gonna take their future into their hands. And not because Mark Carney is a complete weasel, and he's a globalist, and he's got interests in solar power and batteries and all that other stuff. He'll the Chinese, really terrible. Oh, congratulations, Baba is retired. Mark T., the media bears a great deal of the responsibility for this divide. Oh, of course. They're all Democrats. The leftists, the Democrats, global media, they're all on the same page. Everything. And who do they hate more than Trump? We the people. Responsibility. They foment hatred between left and right, raising the temperature. And yeah. They get people killed. Democrats are always doing that. Golden Baba wants everybody to know he's retired. With only 600 foreign officers, pretty sure the agents are causing the chaos. What? 3,000 ICE agents in the city, only 600 sworn officers. What do you mean, police officers? Pretty sure the agents are causing the chaos. Oh, it's the agent's fault, trying to carry out the law, the federal law. And the police department wouldn't help. Yeah, but I know Holman's up there talking to the governor there, that silly-ass governor. I'll bet he wants a deal. You know, he probably wants a deal like the Venezuela dictator. Hey, don't come after me. Don't charge me and I'll work with you. Nah, it doesn't work that way. Not here. Mark to Baba. How old are you, Baba? I don't say Mark, sorry. Come on, you're 42 and you're retired. Okay. Golden Baba, younger than Docs, though. Well, I think about everybody in this whole community is younger than I am, except for one that I know of. The guy with the cross-dresser on Tim Wright's show. What's that guy's name? The glasses, the white hair, stands on his head. I can't think of his name off the top. Once I saw him in that dress, I just thought, you got to be kidding me. So you have to do that to be relevant. You know, look at me so I can feel good about myself. Look at me. I was shocked. Daniel Katz. Now, he's probably a year older than I am. That guy has the hair for politics. Canada's next premier. I don't think there's going to be another premier of Canada. I mean, I think it's going to be breaking up. I don't think there'll be U.S. See, that's an interesting thing. Puerto Rico's a territory, so they use, I think, our currency down there. But I don't know if they'll go that route. They'll just be independent, and then Saskatchewan will hook on with them too. And then maybe British Columbia will come to its senses. And then you have the French-speaking on the other side. But the Liberals they ran it right into the ground. The same thing Kamala would have done here. Hyundai. Golden Baba, Hyundai going to take over now that they have a controlling interest in Boston Dynamics. Holman should be in charge of Homeland. Well, listen, I trust Trump's judgment. If he wants to shake it up, move people around, that's his, all for it. Katz, that's right, Daniel Katz. Yes. I had no idea he was a cross-dresser. I didn't know. Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I see what you mean. Would you buy a house robot? Golden Baba Docs, would you buy a house robot? To do what? To vacuum the dust bunny? I got a cleaning lady that comes over, and she hasn't called me, and I'm almost scared to call her because I'm sure it's some catastrophe of some kind. But she's pretty good at that. I think after this cold spell, I don't know if Curly wants me to show these pictures or what. Wow. It's not AI, he said. What's the other one? I'll watch it later. I'm just hanging out. I'm having a cognac. I got my bed all set to go. I turned off the heat because see, that's the fitness center. They turn on the heat over there because it's cold outside. No, it has to be a little cooler inside. It's like swimming laps in a heated pool. You don't want to do that. So, but then they finally turned on a little AC, and the fans were going. But all in all, they're pretty good about it. No, I would not. I got a cleaning lady come in. I'm tidy. No, I wouldn't. Does anyone know the status of Greenland? Yes, it's a semi-autonomous region that they report to Denmark, I think. I looked that up once on Grok. I can do it again. Well, they already did a deal, apparently. Let's go look. Grok. What is the current status of Greenland? Now, Grok can be wrong, but it's an aggregator. So it gets all the articles. And as of late January 2026, Greenland remains an autonomous territory within the Kingdom of Denmark. It has not changed its political status, and there's no indication of independence, sale, purchase, or transfer of sovereignty to any other country, including the United States. Key points on current status: autonomy and sovereignty. Greenland has had self-rule since 2009. No sale or transfer, despite renewed U.S. interest, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Recent developments. Tensions escalated earlier this month. Okay, blah, 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 blah. We'll see how it shakes out. Golden Baba, cleaning, cooking, shopping, whatever. No, she doesn't. She actually does that for some people, older people. They can't. She and her girlfriend can't believe that I'm 72. But she'll shop for some other seniors, that kind of thing. But I never asked her to do that. I just wanted her to come over and clean the house, deep cleaning. No cooking. I don't even cook for myself. I had salmon, mashed potatoes, and green beans, and I cooked up a little rice to go with it to make it but more filling. Heat and eat, baby. That's what I like to do. I think my weight's down too. Golden Baba, commenting on Greenland. I think we came to everybody. Yeah. Well, if we don't take it, you want the Golden Baba. You want China to have it. You want Russia to have it. It's part of the Golden Dome. If we can own land in Cuba, Cuba's a mess, because if the communists ever fall there completely, they do an embargo, and if they're liberated, you're going to have all these claims that the people that own land that were in there at the beginning. I don't know. Don't know what's going to happen there. Mark T85. Mark, Greenland, MT85. Mark, Greenland has already said we could build more bases during the Cold War. We had a lot more bases there. Golden Baba, who said I didn't want us to have it? You know nothing about my political leanings. Okay. So I got my clips played. I showed you that. Oh, then we'll do some, I actually got, I'm going to have to talk, clip it, Mortys Diner, Mortimer, if you're out there. He gave me a compliment on one of his shows, which I was quite surprised. It was concerning a post I put up on X on this person, because I thought he was ill-mannered and rude to Morty when it was over, but not according to Morty. Morty, what did you have to say about this? Where are you?
Speaking of editing, DOXXreport. Check out DOXXreport's X page. He made a video of my appearance. He edited together some scenes, some bits and pieces of my appearance on the Green Room show 2 or 3 days ago. And I watched it 2 times. And I thought, wow, I was good. Man, I am good. That was so funny. Oh, yeah, man, I'm really good. It was good. Very funny. And Docs edited it just right, you know. But he didn't cut it too short, and he let each scene play, each segment play out, so he didn't ruin the timing or the pacing of my delivery. Very, very good. So kudos to DOXXreport on that.
I think he meant kudos. So I guess I made him look good because of the edits. I guess he was more complimenting himself than he was me. If you want to catch it over there, I just thought he was rude. And I don't think Morty deserved that. But Morty was quite pleased with it. With the editing. And more impressed with his being funny. How do I get rid of this? Right here. Back to Neverland. Back to the comments. Well, they really want the Greenland. They want the what do they call that? The rare earth stuff. Also. No, they should let us have it. They should just sell us the most, whatever Trump wants. He's thinking of us. He's thinking of the security of the world, peacekeeping, peace through strength. They should sell us the most strategic part and keep, welcome aboard. Docs, do as you see fit with the stuff. Okay, I'll look it over. And that's not AI? I think I saw some of it over on the Nikki's program, which is no longer Nikki's program, it's Uzi's. Oh, look at this compliment. Mark it, Morty. Morty is a cool guy. Mortimer. Some, Golden Baba really sucking up to Morty, some might say the coolest cat around. Mortimer? Oh, God, I hope not. I hope not. He's deeply flawed. Peter Pan, didn't you hear the report Kathy gave? It's a chilling report of the dark side, the very dark side of the shroom. That's Peter Pan. Yes, the rising superstar shroom, he is the future of the... Well, then it's doomed. All hell the shroom, then it's doomed. And, I should have clipped that. He keeps everything... Well, he has it probably private now. I want to hear Mortimer play guitar again. That makes me happy. Well, I wanted a wrench over there, and you know what he tried to get out of me? $500. So he'll play the guitar for you. I don't know what he'll charge for that. No, I didn't get that gene. I didn't get the music gene. I did not get the math gene. I don't know if I even got the athletic gene. I could play a little basketball. I wasn't that good at baseball, but I really didn't get the top end of that thing. But I seem to be okay, Everything's worked out. And that's the reason kind of the title, Neverland. And what was my first thing I put up here? Neverland never was. Because as you age, at least where I'm sitting now, I look back and it's just like a dream. Each phase of my life, from the very big, from the childhood, and then leaving home, and then different things I've done, and different jobs, and I misspoke once. I said I never bought a used vehicle. I did buy a used vehicle. It was from my high school teacher. I already left high school. I was working and then going to college and had an apartment. He sold me, which he bought from the original owner, a painter in, and this is really out in the boondocks, Tremonton, Utah. Tremont? What? God, I forgot how to pronounce it. Let me go look. Tremonton, yeah, Tremonton. The original owner, a 59 Chevrolet Apache pickup truck. White, turquoise interior, wraparound rear window, 3-speed on the column, big truck steering wheel. It's a pickup truck. And a foot starter. Straight six. That's when they first came out, Chevrolet made the straight six. The inline six, whatever you want to call it. And I had to put some salt in the back, bags of salt in the back to hold the back down. But that was probably the best time of my life. I was dating and I was, young and I had a camper bolted down to the back of it, and it was just. But you know what? Neverland. It doesn't last long. Well, Mark, you want to do a deal everybody wins, except who? The Chinese and the Russians. If Obama asked the Danes, would have said, yes, sir. Oh, I don't know about that. But, well, first of all, Obama would never have asked. He's too busy apologizing. What's the pen? You hear that, Morty? You can pick up $200. Franchise clubs, Baba, once the penance reaches $200, I may consider paying it, but 2026, the year of unity. Really? I don't know if he's in the mood for that. Golden Baba, franchise clubs. Maybe he will, Morty will give a holiday discount for the 4th of July. Well, he has a hard time keeping the diner open. And then he makes it all black and white and nothing, and I don't know. It sure the heck isn't you, dogs. Okay, the coolest. Oh, thank you, Jay Gray. Who is Kathy? Kathy is my correspondent, and she did do a piece on a green room. And in fact, I can bring her in here for that. Why don't I do that again? Since you're here, let's bring out the subject here. I don't know if I can do it that way. Maybe I'll just bring her up. I won't show his image again. I think he's quite upset by it. But I will bring Kathy up here, the lovely Kathy. And her report. Here's her report. Let's cue her up. She's a great gal. Let's bring her up here. Where are you, Kathy? There's a lovely reporter standing in Neverland, but beware of the dark side of Peter Pan.
Peter Pan's dark side is one of the most striking aspects of Mr. Barrie's original story, far removed from the playful, innocent boy of Disney adaptations. In the 1911 novel Peter and Wendy, and the earlier 1904 play, Peter is portrayed as a deeply flawed, often cruel eternal child, whose refusal to grow up comes with selfishness, violence, and emotional detachment. Here are the key elements that reveal his darker nature. Peter thins out the lost boys. When the lost boys show signs of growing up, or when there are simply too many of them, Peter gets rid of them. Barry describes this chillingly. The boys vary, of course, in numbers, according as they get harmed and so on. And when they seem to be growing up, which is against the rules, Peter thins them out. Many readers and analysts interpret thins them out as Peter harms them to preserve Neverland's childish purity. He shows no remorse. In one scene, he casually mentions forgetting the boys he has harmed. Emotional cruelty and forgetfulness. Peter is profoundly heartless. He forgets people he once cared about almost immediately, including past mothers like Wendy. Barry writes that Peter has no memory beyond the present moment, making him incapable of real attachment or empathy. When Wendy grows up and returns to the real world, Peter visits her daughter years later, but he has already forgotten Wendy herself, treating the new girl as a replacement without any sense of loss. Obsession with death as an awfully big adventure. Peter romanticizes death rather than fearing it. He sees it as exciting rather than tragic, reflecting his inability to understand consequences or permanence. This ties into his rejection of adulthood, which he equates with endings and responsibility. Casual brutality toward others. Peter cuts off Captain Hook's hand and feeds it to the crocodile without hesitation, showing sadistic playfulness. He treats battles and violence as games, with no regard for the real harm inflicted. A tragic, almost psychopathic figure. Peter isn't evil in a traditional villainous sense. He's amoral and stunted. He can't love, grieve, or change. Barry implies this stems from Peter's own origin. He left his mother as a baby to avoid growing up, locking himself in eternal childhood. This makes him pitiable, yet terrifying. A boy who will never mature, but who enforces that state on others through force. In short, Peter Pan isn't a hero saving children from adulthood. He's a dangerous, eternal trickster who harms or abandons anyone who threatens his fantasy world. Neverland isn't paradise. It's a savage limbo ruled by a boy too broken to let anyone else escape childhood's grip. Docs, I must tell you, this figure, Peter Pan, is extremely disturbing. Frankly, Docs, I'm quite scared at the moment.
You have every right to be scared, my dear. Peter Pan in his playground. Neverland. You know who has to worry more is Pyro. If Pyro starts to mature and gets a little wiser and older, and he'll be banished from Neverland. That's Kathy with a K. Nothing notable from Denmark since Hamlet, says Mark. Jay Gray's been here a while. I don't see Dr. Bob. Oh, that's total bullshit from Tommy. That was one study up in Minnesota. Well, what about the genetic factors of the Minnesota farmers? Are they related to, to each other and everything else? Do they all drink coffee in the morning? And they trace it back to, that's total nonsense. And the answer is no, it doesn't bother me. Docs, does it bother you that living on a golf course exposes you to chemicals that cause bodily harm? I think it's bullshit. In the world we shall see. Rotten fish, you have my support. Oh, Bateman's here, huh? The chemicals. Oh, now even Bateman's in on it. Doesn't worry me at all, really. I'm 72. Now with aging, there's, degenerative diseases, and I don't know which one I'm in store for. Like I said, I was talking about that woman earlier. She had the operation for sciatica that relieved the pain. Then she fell and broke her femur. Oh God! And now she's having trouble walking, and he's taking care of her. And now she's been diagnosed with Parkinsonism. I mean, at that point, especially if I'm in my 80s, my prayer will be, "Thank you, Lord, for taking me early." I will pray for that. Well, I could do that for Grok. I think I did do it for Grok, but it was just it all came from a report. I should do that. I can do that. Let's see, how do I word this question? Let's see. Is there any truth in it being harmful to your health living near a golf course? Searching the web. Oh, well, it says, yeah, there is some scientific evidence suggesting that living near a golf course can pose health risks, primarily due to the exposure of pesticides. Well, I have the pesticides. I have granules that put on the lawn. They don't do the sprays anymore. They have granules. The turf. The evidence is strong for Parkinson's. Well, by the way, the woman, she lives near the golf course. She lives on the golf course just like me. While links to other conditions like cancer are more limited, blah, blah, blah. Key evidence, I think it was one study. Okay, yeah, the most prominent recent finding comes from a 2025 study published in JAMA Network in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Okay, well, maybe living in Minnesota and Wisconsin causes Parkinsonism. So I don't know. I don't worry about it at all. Zero. My biggest worry is aging. Well, that's not even a worry. I'm aging, the way it goes. Baba likes the voice of Kathy. Well, that's supposed to be Neverland. I can imagine. I was shocked that he was on the Jackson Dr. Bob show. I can't listen to that guy. And then he was running the Horology Dungeon. And if you think you missed if you go and look for Archie's show and it's in members only, you didn't miss anything. Because he puts the ones that don't make any money right into members only. And I'm surprised Mrs. Lai is still putting him up. He's in that son's bedroom there. He's away to school. I don't think he's going, if the way I interpret it, he's not going to Vietnam because he's got nobody to sponsor, unless Easy puts him up for a month. I don't know. Jay Gray says, he's got you're in the hospital, Jay Gray? Your nurse is taking care of you tonight? Or wink, wink, nod, nod. Golden Baba nurse, are you ill, Jay Gray? Let's see. Easy's too busy arguing with his toilet, barfing. Yeah. Now that's a good way to. Not a good way. That's a quick way to end your life. Just become an alcoholic. If someone hit your, nah, I don't know if that's worth a. No, that's not worth a drum roll. Mark, why does Peter Pan fly? If someone hit your Peter with a pan, you'd fly too. This audience is too sophisticated for that. This is too dark for me, Docs. Well, I'm telling you, that's when you look at that face, that smile. Don't be fooled by that smile of his. Brigay fire. Boris, ha ha ha. Peter Pan is a liar, liar. Brigay on fire. Batman, Jesus. Soon, long shot. Oh, maybe he is ill. Tommy probably paid for the study so he could bring the value of course. No, he reads an article and that's gospel, right? I mean, or if he sees something on maybe his favorite news channel, that's gospel. Tommy probably paid for the study so he could bring the value of golf courses down so he could buy it in the cheap. I don't think he would, but no, I don't worry about it at all. Burning diesel fuel in the morning. Let me give this one some credit. Golden Baba, a freshly fertilized golf course is only trumped by the smell of burning diesel fuel in the morning. I'll tell you, they do keep it very short. They mow early in the morning when it's before dawn, so I don't really get the smell of it. And then the guys mow my lawn out here, but everything really slows down in the cold in the winter here. Golden Baba warning: cognitive dissonance incoming. Well, I just finished my drink. That's all I drink. I think it's safer than this bottled water you're buying. That crap. At least you know this has been, chlorinated, kill the bugs. The stuff in it, the viruses and stuff. Docs, don't push the tap water. That's all I push. I missed Easy on the Jack show. Yeah, he was on there. And then who was it? Was he on there? I think he was. Not for very long. And then somebody came on and started telling him why he did a psychological profile on him. And then he left. I think. I don't know which one. It was just an old childhood joke, Doc. No, I already answered that. No. Playboard, please, sir. Well, do I have the latest? I probably got rid of it. You got to give it some time. Overall, he's down. No, I don't have it here. If I do get it, if I get up tomorrow and I remember that, I'll put it up on the post. I'll post it to my channel. Well, who's streaming? Anybody streaming now? Oh, I wish I could, because there was nothing on Apple TV I really wanted to watch. I thought, I'll just stream. Maybe we got some stuff going on now. Let's see. Let's try this channel. Okay, watch Nicholas's live. Okay, now get this headline. Jack strikes again. Now Jock's not going to like that. Cheered on by Mental Shell, Shock, and Bateman to benefit Lux. That's got to be an Uzi title. 3 watching. Oh, it's Uzi. It's got to be Uzi. Nah, I can't stomach that. What about the diner? Morty's Diner. I guess it's too early. Now, will Jackson and Dr. Bob be on tonight? I don't know the answer to that, unless he's got it. No, I'm live, but I don't know if they're coming. I have no reason to believe they're not coming, or they're not going to have a show. I don't. The tears of financial despair are so sweet. It was so good for so long, and you had a good ride. He made over $500,000. What, $600,000? If he would have just invested his money, but he's a spender. He's not a saver. Well, I'm kind of pleased who got in there. The Patriots. They get back. They get back there all the time. Maybe that's just because the league is weak. But then Darnold was everybody was saying he was garbage. He's done. He can't get the job done. And now he gets a chance to redeem himself if he beats the Patriots. But he took him to the Super Bowl. Quarterback. He made it. Sam Darnold. So he's done well. I just hope it's a competitive game. That's all. I don't really predict. I may even go to bed if it's really, what day of the week is that on? Super Bowl date. Oh, it's going to be Sunday night, right? Because I don't get into all the frickin', they call the timeouts at the end. I've gone to bed before, like in the last 2 minutes. It's Sunday, February 8th, okay? It's going to probably be late. What time? Super Bowl date and time. What time does the Super Bowl start? 6:30-ish, so that means 7 p.m., 8 o'clock. I'll be in bed by halftime. I can already tell you that. Mark, Curly had a good show last night, except for Eddie, and except for nobody can see it now because it's now members only. But Docs, you're supposed to be bringing the business, the Playboard business. Just know they're not doing well. None of them. But I see Timmy's back. So, all right, 1 hour, 24 minutes. Any questions? Any concerns? Let's see if this thing works. Yeah, Q&A. It's Q&A time with the DOXXreport. Or we could do a wah-wah. With the wah-wah boys, there are the wah-wah boys. Where's the song?
Wah, wah. You give me a wah, wah. Wah, wah. Wah, wah.
Q&A for the DOXXreport. Really? Well, thank you. I think I offended some people, but, great show, Doc. Well, thank you, Golden Baba. Thanks, Docs. My favorite septuagenarian, your favorite 70-year-old. Well, I hope it happens to you. I hope that you get to outlive your grandfather and feel what I'm feeling, that I'm older than my grandfather was. It's depressing.